Arsenal Fan TV, Mo, we're standing outside there by the Cop. What do you make of it? I mean, disappointing in the end that we haven't managed to hold on for the 3 points.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed. Can't get away from him. Yeah, for me the game today was a carbon copy of Manchester City at home, where we go 1-0 down, do well to come back into the game, show a lot of character, and then get undone very, very late on by a very simple set piece, people not taking responsibility, and, you know, really, really disappointed. You know, earlier on a few of the fans who you interviewed were talking about Arsene Wenger. When it's a 96-minute free header from a set piece corner, it's not the manager's fault, because the players know enough to be able to take responsibility for that. So you have to look at the players. The only case you can make is, should there have been a defender on the near post? That's obviously a managerial setup. But, you know, someone has to be challenging for that. You can't have Skirtle going up for that by himself. And that's what I was bitterly disappointed about, because it happened. Demichelis did the same thing and we drew that game 2-2. Now away at Liverpool, Skirtle's done it, we've drawn it 2-2. These could have been 2-2-1 wins against good teams, an extra 4 points in the bank. We haven't learned.
We're saying these are the games that we need to come and get victories at these places. I mean, all right, we haven't lost here, but we need to start coming and getting victories at these places to start turning it around psychologically, even for Arsenal.
Yeah, and you know, we've played Man United again at a time where you would have been desperate to play them, and we played Liverpool today at a time where we wanted to play them. You know, they're set up for that victory, and we've just come and we've been terrible. You know, we've started off really, really poorly. We didn't play any football 44.5 minutes, and then we've equalised before half time, which I thought would really see us push on. To an extent, we did push on, but then we just switched off. And you know what I don't understand is, why do we play so poorly until we go a goal behind, and then all of a sudden it's like we're wearing some sort of glasses that are out of focus. As soon as we go a goal down, that's it. We change the glasses, we're focused, we know what we're looking at, we know what we want to achieve. We need to establish that sort of mentality from the first whistle. I just, you know, it's very hard to take.
Do we need to, what we got to do in it? 2015 now looming. We're still not in a, you know, terrible position. What do we need to do to kick on now in 2015 and go on a long run and do something decent this season?
It's an obvious one, and everyone says this, and that is signings. You know, we need to go and get that holding midfielder, someone like a Schneiderlin or a Lars Bender. I'd love to get. Bender would be cup-tied for the Champions League. But, you know, even a Schneiderlin, he's a brilliant player, and you've seen Southampton drop off in form when he's not been playing there. You even look at Alex Song playing for West Ham, and it hurts me a bit, because we could have had him back, and he's actually doing very well for West Ham. Even though he had his flaws as an Arsenal player, he's better than what we've got currently. So it would have been sensible to get him in. We do need to go and do that. But forget about all the transfers. Every fan will say that. The one thing that we can do practically on the pitch is we need to cut out that near post flick on from corners, because people always complain about, why don't we beat the first man? The reason we don't be the first man is because we're aiming for the first man. But for us, the first man should be Mertesacker flicking it on. And if you win that flick on, the odds are always in your favour, because you can't defend against a flick on from a few yards away. You know, the strikers are going to be more likely to be able to get something on that, rather than defenders being able to readjust and clear it sufficiently. But the problem is, it just doesn't work. And the consequence of us going for that near post flick on that doesn't work is that instantly we have about 6 players in the box. Instantly that ball goes out into the centre of the pitch, because as the ball's coming along and you're getting a defensive header on the ball that we saw Liverpool players do many times today, the ball often stays in play. As soon as that happens, if it goes to a Liverpool player, and we know the way we position ourselves from corners, we leave ourselves light at the back, and we see it time and time again. The way we position ourselves, if it goes to a Liverpool player, you're on the counter-attack and you're very susceptible. You're running backwards. It's one of the most dangerous things in football, when you're backpedaling and someone's going full flight at you. And they've got 80 yards to run into. We set ourselves up for such a dangerous counter-attack. And either we need to position ourselves differently in terms of the defensive players who aren't involved in the actual attacking of that corner, or we stop aiming for that near post, because it just doesn't work. You know, today was just further evidence that needs to be cut out of our game. But, you know, all in all, just we need to learn our lessons. That's the one thing that we need to do, and get them signings in. And credit to Raheem Sterling, who, when Szczesny went out on one of his mad runs, Sterling stayed on his feet. If he dived like Mourinho would ask him to, he would have, got Szczesny sent off. So credit to him for staying up. And the last thing I'd say about Brendan Rodgers, because Wenger's under a lot of stick, Rodgers is under a lot of stick. And Arsenal fans are always talking about Wenger in or Wenger out. And I'd imagine Liverpool fans are doing the same thing now with Rodgers. And all I'd say with Rodgers is that if you look at where Liverpool were when he came in, he's actually done so much for them. I'd give Rodgers a lot of credit because he's done very, very well for them and pushed them on. Last year they were so close to winning the title, they were a slip away. And now Liverpool fans are making him a victim of his own success. I think, Arsenal fans have endured a lot of pain. Liverpool fans have endured half a season of pain. They need to stick with him. Just how I think Arsenal fans need to stick with Arsene Wenger because, I don't see Pep coming in here anytime soon. But yeah, that's just a final thought for Liverpool fans to take in. I think he deserves a bit more time.
Rodgers in.
It's a point. It's ruined my bloody Christmas. Christmas is abandoned now. I'm not having Christmas anymore. My Christmas is abandoned.